most of you have taken the server access, right? And some of them have not yet installed SAP GUI. Today or tomorrow, right? You can install the SAP GUI program, because from today onwards we need to do the practice. From today onwards, all of you have to start the practice, right? And whoever have not yet installed SAP GUI, Saturday and Sunday, please install it. Normally, we don't have the classes on Saturday and Sunday, Indian days. We have the classes from Monday to Friday, Indian days. USA days, that is Sunday to Thursday. So I have sent this material, basic settings, to all of you. And I hope you have taken the printout of this material. Now, here, the first concept is enterprise structure. So what is this enterprise structure? You take any company. Every company will have number of departments. They will have number of manufacturing plants, and they may be carrying on business in different branches. So every company will have number of branches, number of manufacturing plants, right? Number of departments, etc., etc. These are called organizational units in the company. And one organization unit is linked with the other organization unit within the company in some way or the other way. That relation is called enterprise structure. So as a starting point of the configuration in the implementation projects, we have to map the enterprise structure of your client company into SAP. And this enterprise structure is also called organization structure, right? Organization structure or enterprise structure, both are same. So in the real time, right, this enterprise structure is created by respective functional consultants. Means every module will have a separate enterprise structure. FI will have its separate enterprise structure. CO will have its own enterprise structure. MM, SD, HR, PP, like that, every module in SAP will have its own enterprise structure. So the enterprise structure for each module is created by respective consultants, respective functional consultants. FI consultant will create FI enterprise structure. CO consultant will create CO enterprise structure. MM consultant will create MM enterprise structure, and so on. Here, our module is FICO. So first we start with the FI, right? Once we complete FI, then we start with the CO. So we have to first maintain enterprise structure for FI. What is the enterprise structure for FI? See, the main purpose of the financial accounting is to prepare the profit and loss account and balance sheet. Now, from the viewpoint of preparation of financial statements, please remember, from the viewpoint of preparation of financial statements, you take any company in the world, right? It will have, first we have the group. You take any company in the world, we have the group, like Tata Group, right? Then Reliance Group, Birla Group, Walmart Group, right? Like that, at the top, we have the group. Then under the group, there will be number of individual companies. Like for example, under the group, we have the individual company 1, individual company 2, individual company 3, individual company 4. Like that, under the group, we can have any number of individual companies. Then every individual company is carrying on business in different geographical areas. For example, individual company 1 is carrying on business in Hyderabad, Mumbai. If you take the USA context, the individual company 1 is carrying on business in Washington, New York, New Jersey, California, and so on. Similarly, individual company 2 also may be carrying on business in different geographical areas, like Hyderabad, Mumbai, Chennai, Calcutta, Bangalore, right? So this is the general enterprise structure for any company in the world for the purpose of preparing financial statements. This is the general enterprise structure for any company in the world. Remember, from the viewpoint of preparation of financial statements. Now, if you translate this into real time, group means GE group. Group means GE group. Means here, assuming that the GE group of companies has purchased the SAP software, now we are going to implement this SAP software in the GU group of companies. Assuming this, we will carry our total FI training classes, right? So from today itself onwards, itself is a project. I will take you throughout the total logical accounting process. Then at the end of FI, I will show you the clear-cut P&L account and balance sheet. Now, group means GE group. Then under the GE group, right, we have GE Infotech Limited and GE Paper Mills Limited. So these are the two individual companies under the GE group. Then the GE Infotech Limited is carrying on business in Hyderabad, Chennai. Then GE Paper Mills Limited is also carrying on business in Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, Calcutta, Bengaluru, and so on. So this is the real enterprise structure for GU group of companies for the purpose of preparing financial statements. Now, this GE group enterprise structure is to be mapped into SAP. So in SAP, right, the group is always called company. In SAP, the group is always called company. Then the individual companies are called company code in SAP. Then the geographical areas in which the individual companies or company codes are carrying on business are called business areas. Clear? So as a starting point of configuration, the FI consultant, first we have to create a company code and business areas. See here, company code and business areas, they are called organization units in financial accounting. See, company code and business areas are called organization units in financial accounting. So what is the purpose of the company? Why we have to create a company in SAP? The company represents the group, right? So at the group level, we can prepare the consolidated financial statements. At the company level, we can prepare the consolidated financial statements. See, with the help of the profit and loss account, we can find out the profit or loss. And with the help of the balance sheet, we can find out the financial position of the company. So the profit and loss account and balance sheet, these two together are called financial statements. So at the company level, we can prepare the consolidated financial statements. Consolidated financial statements means the sum of the financial statements of GE Infotech Limited and GE Paper Mills Limited. So the sum of these two financial statements are called consolidated financial statements. So at the group level, right, we can prepare the consolidated financial statements. With the help of the consolidated financial statements, the group management can find out the profit at the group level, and also they can see the financial position at the group level. That is the purpose of the company. But the definition of company is optional. It is not mandatory. Here, we have to remember one point in SAP. If any reporting is legally required, that is mandatory. But if any reporting is required according to will and wish of the management, that is called optional. So in any company law, right, there is no legal requirement to prepare and present the financial statements at the company level or at the group level. But if the group management wants to see the profits and the financial position at the group level, then only we have to create a company. Then we have to create the company in the system. For that, we have to give one identification. So the identification of the company can contain up to 6 characters. That is alphanumeric, right? And a company can have any number of company codes. Company means group, right? So group means it can have any number of individual companies. Individual company means company code. So a company can have any number of company codes. So that is the purpose of the company. So all this explanation I have given in your notes. While doing the practice, you have to study the notes first. Then only you do the practice. See, I will tell you at the end of the class today how to do the practice in an effective way. So company represents the group. It can contain up to 6 characters. It is alphanumeric. At the company level, we can prepare the consolidated financial statements. The definition of company is optional, and a company can have any number of company codes. That's how every class I will explain the concept first, right? Then we will see how to create a company in the system. This is the practical now. That is the project creation. I told you, from today onwards itself is the project. So most of the activities, what we do in the real-time projects, we are going to cover in our training classes. So I will take you throughout the total accounting process very logically. Then at the end of FI, I will show you the clear-cut picture of P&L account and balance sheet. Now, step number 1.1, creation of company. So in order to create the company, first we have to log on into SAP system, right? So double click on SAP logon icon, select the server, click on logon button, enter your user ID, then password, then language, then click on enter. Now you have logged into SAP system. Now, in order to create the company, we need to access one screen. For that screen, I have given the path here. Now, in our training class, we are going to cover both the consultant training and the end user training. So first, as a consultant, we do the configuration settings. Once we complete the configuration settings, we push the end user transactions. I will show you the reports. Okay. Now, some activities you perform as a consultant, some activities you perform as an end user in our training classes. So how do you know which activity is performed by consultant and which activity is performed by end user? I will tell you one thumb rule. For any activity, if the path starts with the SPRO, for any activity, if the path starts with the SPRO, then you can take it granted that it is the job of the consultant. Remember, for any activity, if the path starts with the SPRO, you can take it granted that that is the job of the consultant, because SPRO is the transaction code for IMG stream, and the IMG stream is completely used by consultant. And if the path starts with something else other than SPRO, that is the job of the end user. That's how you can differentiate between end user activities and consultant activities in our material and in our training classes. So SPRO is the transaction code for IMG stream, and the transaction code is always to be entered in the command area of SAP Easy Access, right? So this is the SAP Easy Access, and this is the command area. Here you enter SPRO, then click on enter. SPRO always implies clicking on SAP reference IMG also. So you came to IMG stream. After SPRO, we have enterprise structure. So in SPRO, these are the folders. So enterprise structure folder, click on this. Then after enterprise structure, right, we have definition. This is the definition subfolder. Click on this. Then financial accounting. This is the financial accounting subfolder. Click on this. Then after financial accounting, we have defined company. This is called defined company. And this symbol is called execute symbol. This symbol is called execute symbol. So you have to click on this execute symbol against the defined company. Now, click on new entries. This is called new entries button. Click on new entries. Click on this new entries button. Now, in order to create the company, in this screen, we provide some information here, right? Now, you have to write in the material now. Company is equal to, give some identification. Just like that, I'm giving SSPN GR, just like that. You can give any identification. Now you have to write in the material against company, right? You have to write SSPN GR. It can be anything. It can contain up to 6 characters. Up to 6. You can use 1, 2, 3 also. Then company name is equal to Walmart Group. Company name is equal to Walmart Group. Then city, Mumbai, means here it is the city in which the group headquarters are situated. Suppose if the group headquarters are situated in Washington, you enter the Washington, New York, New York. So assuming that this Walmart group is operating from India, right? City is equal to Mumbai. Otherwise, let us do one thing. You make it as company name, you do one thing. Reliance Group. Company name is equal to Reliance Group. Please rectify. Company name is equal to Reliance Group. City is equal to Mumbai. City is equal to Mumbai. Means the Reliance Group of companies headquarters are situated in Mumbai. Country is equal to IN. So against each field you have to write. Against country IN means the Reliance Group of companies is basically operating from India. So here in the country field, we enter the name of the country from which the group is basically operating. Suppose if the group is operating from USA, we enter the identification for USA. If the group is basically operating from Australia, we enter the identification for Australia. Here, it's an international software. SAP is an international software, international ERP, and it can be used by any company from any country. So in that case, we have to give the identification for the respective country from which the group is basically operating. So India means IN, you can understand. USA means US, you can understand. But what are the identifications for other countries? Say, for example, if you press on this button, the system will display the list of countries. This list is available in the real-time software also, right? We are using the software which is exactly similar to the real-time software. It's a real-time software only, right? So if the group is basically operating from, right, Austria, you enter AT. If the group is basically operating from Australia, you enter AU. Bangladesh, BD. Canada, CA. Switzerland, CH. Then China, Germany. So IN for India, right? Then USA. You can scroll down. US, United States. So already 238 countries were defined in the system, right? 238 countries were defined in the system. Suppose if you don't find the country you require, we can define our own countries, right? So write down. Country is equal to IN. Within brackets, F4. Within brackets, F4. You can press F4 button or you can press this button. So from the F4, you can select. Then language, EN. Language, English. Normally, most of the companies will use English language only. Suppose, for example, you are going to configure for a company from Japan and they want to use the Japanese language only. In that case, right, again press F4. See, JA, GHI, GHIJ. These are arranged in the dictionary order. Dictionary order. JA for Japanese language, right? EN for English, ES for Spanish, KO for Korean. See, 42 entries found. In the first navigation class, I told you, SAP software is developed in 42 international languages. These are the 42 international languages. Clear? So, in most of the cases, we use English. Suppose if you don't find the language you require, no, you can't help, right? You cannot define our own languages. Then, currency INR. Write down please. Currency INR. So here we enter the currency of the respective countries from which the group is basically operating. Suppose Australian dollar. Your group is operating from Australia and we have to enter the currency Australian dollar. In that case, press F4. AUD, Australian dollar. Right? So remember, it's not necessary to remember the identification of the countries, currencies, and languages. Don't try to remember these things. It's not necessary at all. So currency is equal to INR. India means INR. And do one thing. Some space is here, no? Please write down there. We can define our own countries and currencies. We can define our own countries and currencies. But we cannot define our own languages. Okay. Now, after currency, look at this thing. After currency, we have click on save. This is called save button. You can use Ctrl S also. Click on save. Now, this is called request box, right? And this is called request number. This request number is automatically generated by the system. So what is the significance of this request box and request number? We have the separate class later on, right? That class is called transportation. At that time, you can understand what is request number and what is the purpose of this request number. At this point of it's technical. So at this point of time, we will not be able to understand, right? So after clicking on save, click on create request. Here, where is the create request button or icon? This is the first time you are using the software, right? So on every icon, right, you just keep the cursor for 1 or 2 seconds. It will tell you the name of the icon. It is enter icon. This is display attribute, display object icon. This is object attributes icon. This is called create request button. So like that, for the first time, you can find out the name of the icons here, like this. Once you start doing the practice for 2-3 days, you will be comfortable with the name of the icons, right? So click on create request. See, some other request number is there, some other description is there, right? Now, click on create request. Short description is equal to, we have to give the name of the activity. FI configuration, short description is equal to FI configuration for Reliance group of companies. Please write down. If like this, every step you have to write in the material. Short description is equal to FI configuration for Reliance group of companies. Then click on save. See, this is called again save button. Look at the cursor. This is save button. Click on save. Now, request number has been changed and the short description was taken by the system, what we have given. FI configuration for Reliance group of companies. After that, click on enter. This is called enter button. Click on enter. See, data was saved. This is called OK message. I told you, no, 3 messages are displayed on the status bar. One is OK message displayed in green color. This is called OK message. So whenever you see any message in green color, that is called OK message. And whenever you get the OK message, we can take it granted that your setting is correct. When you get the message data was saved, you can take it granted your settings are correct. You need not worry about the correctness. That's how we have created company. So in the same way, in your practice, you have to create your own company with any other name. You cannot use this name again. If you try to use the same name, SSPNGR, the system will give you the error message. So you can create the group with your name also. Right? With any name you can create. Now, define company code. So what is company code here? See, the individual companies are called company codes in SAP. For example, GE Infotech Limited is called one company code. GE Paper Mills Limited is called one company code. And if you take USA context, every INC, every .inc is called company code, right? Every LLC, limited liability company, is called one company code in SAP. If you take Indian context, every limited and private limited are called company codes. So the definition of company code is mandatory because it is legally required to prepare and present the financial statements at the company code level to the legal authorities. That's why the company code creation is mandatory. From now onwards, we cannot proceed anything further without company code. So at the company code level, we can prepare and present the financial statements. And these financial statements are to be presented to the shareholders, then register of companies, stock exchange commissions, etc., etc. So for your understanding purpose, every separate legal entity is created as company code. For your understanding purpose, every separate legal entity is called company code in SAP. In India, every limited company and private limited company is called company code. In USA, every LLC, every INC is called company code. But from an interview point of view, if they ask you, what is the company code? You have to say, it is the organization in the financial accounting for which a complete set of books of accounts are maintained necessary for external legal reporting. That is to prepare legal financial statements. That is the meaning of the company code. For our understanding purpose, as I said, every separate legal entity should be created as company code. Then, generally, every separate legal entity is created as company code in SAP. If the boundaries of a particular country are also crossed, then we have to create the company code. Means, suppose you take Reliance Group. Reliance Group is carrying on business in India under the name Reliance Industries Limited. Now, this Reliance Group wants to carry on business in USA. For that purpose, first it has to take the permissions and legal sanctions from the USA federal government. And it has to comply with number of legal formalities. Then only the USA government will give the permission to the Reliance Group to start business in USA. That means a separate legal entity is formed. The Reliance Group company, right? The Reliance Group has to get itself registered under the USA Federal Companies Act. As a result, a separate legal entity is formed. A separate legal entity means a company code. Still, again, you want to carry on business in UK. Again, we have to get ourselves registered under the UK Companies Act. Means a separate legal entity is formed. So a separate legal entity means a company code. Like that, if the boundaries of any particular country is crossed, then you have to create one company code. It's mandatory, means mandatory. The definition of company code is mandatory. It can contain up to 4 characters and it is alphanumeric. Clear? Then, in order to create the company code, we need to access one screen. For that screen, again, I have given path. So path is starting with SPRO, means it is also the consultant activity. So here, SPRO is the transaction code for IMG script, right? So, and the transaction code is always to be entered in the command area of SAP Easy Access. Is this SAP Easy Access? No, something else is there, right? It's not SAP Easy Access. So even if you enter SPRO here directly, it will not work. So you have to prefix /n SPRO. So instead of thinking this much logic every time, right? You just prefix /n for every transaction code, as simple as that. You just prefix /n, right? For every transaction code. So here /n SPRO. And SPRO always implies clicking on SAP reference IMG also. Then enterprise structure. This is the enterprise structure. Then after that, definition. This is the definition folder. Then financial accounting. This is the financial accounting subfolder. Then edit, copy, delete, check company code. This one. Edit, copy, delete, check company code. Click on this execute symbol. Then after that, double click on edit company code data. This is called edit company code data. Then click on new entries. Click on new entries. So here we give the identification for the company code, right? I am creating a company code for Reliance Industries Limited. Okay. So for the Reliance Industries Limited, we have to give one name, right? Let us say SSPM, just like that. Company code is equal to SSPM. Is write down. Company code is equal to SSPM. Company name is equal to Reliance. Please write down. Reliance Industries Limited. Company name is equal to Reliance Industries Limited. I hope everybody is writing against every field. City is equal to Mumbai. So every individual company will have a registered office, right? So it is the city in which the registered office of the company code is situated. City is equal to Mumbai. Country is equal to IN. Currency, look at the scheme, please. In the currency field, there is a tick mark. Means in any field, if you notice tick mark, that is called mandatory field. Compulsory, you should provide the information in that field. Currency INR. Currency INR. Language EM. Language is equal to EM. Then suppose if you are doing practice from USA, you can create USA company code, right? In that case, currency will be USD, country will be US, nothing else. After that, click on save. Again, this is the save button. So every setting has to be saved in the database. Now, this is called address screen. In this screen, we provide the complete address of the registered office of the company code. And also we provide the communication details of the company code. First, let us do the setting as per the material. Then I will explain you the other fields. Title is equal to company. Title is equal to company. Country is equal to IN. Country is equal to IN. Now, what about the other fields? Say, for example, name. Again, you can enter the complete name of the company code. Sometimes, right, the name of the company code is larger than the length of this line, right? In that case, you can maintain the complete name of the company code here in these two lines. In case If the length of the company code, if the length of the name of the company code is more than the length of these two lines, this is called more fields button. This is called more fields button. If you click on the more fields button, the system will add two more lines. Normally, no company code will have the name larger than the length of these 4 lines. Once you enter the name of the company code here again, you can close this. Again, if you close on this button, it will be closed. And the more fields. Then here you can maintain the address of the registered office of the company code, like street name. I will come to you, Pavani. Street name, house number, postal code, city, right? Then you can maintain the regions also. And again, here you can maintain post box number of your company code, post box, postal code, company postal code, then communication related information, language, in which language the third parties have to communicate with us, telephone number, extension number, mobile number, fax number, extension, email address. Like this, all this information can be maintained in this screen. So, in the real time, the accounts department of the company code will provide all this information. The accounts department of the company code will provide all this information. That information is to be maintained by FI consultant here. But here we don't have all this information. That's why I'm leaving them as blank. Yeah, Pavani, tell me.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. So I just have it out. Who defines the characters of a company code, or
consultants will decide, right? Consultants will decide what are the characters to be used.
Okay. Do we need to present this data to the respective companies?
Sorry?
Do we need to represent this data to respective companies and take their approvals, right?
Exactly, exactly. Not the approvals as such, right? For the identifications, we don't take any approval. Normally, we consult with the core team of the client company, right? And we will discuss with them. We want to take this identification. Is it okay? Just it's only informal discussions, nothing else.
Okay. So just one more question. So we have like multiple companies, right? Can we, and the systems also different. So if I give some other code in other company, can I use the same code in this company also?
No, in other systems, in another server, you can use the same identification. Within the server, one identification can be used only once.
Okay.
Within one client, you can say.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And somebody is asking, right, where we can maintain the GST numbers and all these things, right? That also we will see later on, not at this point of time. So after providing all this information, right, click on enter. This is called enter button. Just 1 second. Click on enter on, sorry, this is company code. Yeah. Click on save and click on enter on the request message. Here, click on save is there, right? It is not save. Please rectify this. Click on enter. Remove the word save and enter the word enter. Click on enter. So from now onwards, whenever you get this request box, right, just to click on enter. From now onwards, whenever you get this request box, you just click on enter. That's it. See, data was saved. Now, if you want to create one more company code, you have to follow the same path, /NSPRO, enterprise text, etc. Otherwise, you can use this next entry button. You can use this next entry button. If you click on next entry button, all the fields will become empty. Then company code. So for the another second company code, we need to enter another identification. Same identification cannot be used again. Just a minute. See, while creating our company code, we have given the country IN, currency INR, language English. What is the use of these fields? How the system uses these fields in the further processing? See, country. The information given in this field is called the home country of the company code. And every other country is considered by the system as foreign country. Continue the point, continue the paragraph, write one more point. The financial statements, continue please. The financial statements are prepared. The financial statements are prepared according to the legal requirements. According to the legal requirements of the home country of the company code. Look at the scheme, please. Here we have given the country IN, right? So for this Reliance Industries Limited, the financial statements are to be prepared according to the provisions of Companies Act 2013, according to the provisions of Indian Companies Act 2013. Suppose if you enter US here, the financial statements are to be prepared according to the legal provisions of the USA Federal Companies Act. That is the use of the country here. Next, we have given the currency, right? So what is the significance of this currency? The currency entered in this field is called company code local currency. Very, very important point you have to remember. Whatever the currency we enter at the time of defining the company code is called company code local currency. Every other currency is treated by the system as foreign currency. This information is used by the system in identifying the foreign currency. And the financial statements are prepared in the company code local currency only. Obviously, when you're doing business in India, we have to prepare the financial statements in Indian currency only. When you're doing business in USA, we have to prepare and present the financial statements in USA currency only. That is the purpose of the currency. Then language. The language entered in this field determines the language in which the books of accounts are maintained, the checks means bank checks, and correspondence documents are printed. Correspondence documents means account statements, purchase orders, etc., etc. So all the correspondence documents and the books of accounts of Reliance Industries Limited are maintained in English language. That is the purpose of these three fields. Okay, so you can create any number of company codes. Now, here, you know, Reliance Industries Limited is part of your Reliance group, but the system does not know, because we have created the group or company in another script and company code in another script. So system itself cannot relate these two objects. That's why explicitly you have to provide the link between company and company code. Providing the link between two objects in the software is called assignment. That is the next step. Assign company code to company. Assignment means providing the links between two objects in the software is called assignment. So SPRO, it is also job of the consultant. See, path is SPRO. /m SPRO. SAP reference IMG, you have to click. Then enterprise structure. This is enterprise structure. Then assignment. Then financial accounting. Then assign company code to company. See, assign company code to company. So this is the company code, this is the company, right? So our company code will be there somewhere in the list, right? So you have to set your company code. For that, click on position. This is called position button. Click on position, company code. What is the company code you want to set? SSPM. This is our company code, what you have created, right? Write down. Company code is equal to SSPM. Then click on enter, right? See, our company code is taken in the first line. I will come to your point in a bit. SSPM. Select the company code. Sorry, click on enter. See, your company code is taken in the first line. Here you have the company. Company is equal to SSPM GR. Company is equal to SSPM GR. Click on save. So as I said, from now onwards, whenever you get this request box, you have to click on enter. That's it. Data was set. Now you can start to practice from today. Here I will tell you one procedure, right? Follow that procedure bluntly. It's a very, very effective procedure of doing the practice. You create, first you create, today we have created one company code, right? So in your practice also, first you create one company. You give any identification, right? But don't use the identifications which we use in the class. If you use the identification same what we used in the class, it will give you the error message. That's why one identification can be used only once in SAP. So you use some other identifications. First you create a company. Then you create one company code. Then assign the company code to company. One round of practice is over. Now again, you create another company with another name. But before creating company, read the notes. Read the notes. Understand what is the meaning of the company. Why do we use the company in SAP? Read the notes, understand the concept. Then you create second company. After creating second company, again, you create one second company code. But before creating second company code, right, read the notes again. What is the meaning of the company code? Why do we create the company code? What is the purpose of the company code? Following? Then you create. So before doing the second time setting, read the notes, understand the concept, then you create. So like that, you create two company codes, you create two companies and two company codes. Assign the first company code to first company and second company code to second company. Then everyday settings, do them in both the company codes. So before doing the practice in the second company code, every time read the notes, do the practice. If you follow like this, you will get a very good clarity of the subject. In SAP, why is very important. Why do we create a company code? Why do we create a company? It's very, very important from the implementation point of view, from the project point of view, and also from the interview point of view, importantly. How to create a company code is not that much important from the interview point of view. In the interview, they don't give you any system and they don't ask you to create a company code like that. No. How to create company code is only for your knowledge purpose. But from the interview point of view, right, you have to concentrate on why concept. So in our class, we also cover both why and how. Why is company code? How to create company code. So like that, if you do the practice like that, you will get very good clarity of the subject, which is very important from the real-time point of view and also interview point of view. And at the end of the sessions, right, I will send you some other materials also. So you can prepare that material. Then you can start applying for the jobs. And while doing the practice, you may get some errors, right? Immediately, WhatsApp me. For your errors, WhatsApp me. Don't send the mail. Sometimes I may not be having the access to my mail. So don't send the mails for your errors. For your errors, immediately give the message on WhatsApp. From the WhatsApp itself, I can give the solution for your errors. And sometimes you may, while doing the practice, in the class, you feel everything is fine. But while doing the practice, you may be getting some other doubts, right? Then you can ask those doubts in the next class, or you can WhatsApp me. Otherwise, you can maintain one book wherein you can write all your doubts. Then in the next class, you can discuss those doubts. Whatever the way you feel convenient, right? You can follow that way to clarify your doubts, right? Better is always, right? See, effective way of communication with me is WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, immediately, right? If not within 10 to 15 minutes, you get the solution. I will respond. Normally, I will respond immediately, but sometimes it may be delayed. I sent to the Kasinath, I sent to the material already in yesterday's mail, right? Please check your email.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Archana. Yeah, see, Mervin is asking one question, right? Suppose if you are sending money from USA to India, right? How that is processed? We have separate topic on that, conversion of foreign currency transactions. At that time, we will discuss. Yeah, Pavani. Tell me, Pavani.
Yes, sir. Yes. So once we create this company code, can we make any changes?
Yeah, we can change it, right? How to change it will come later, right? Otherwise, you just remind me in tomorrow's class, I will show you.
Okay.
Sometimes what happens, at the time of creating company code, we give an address. After some time, the address may be changed because you have changed your locations, right? In that case, we have to change the address in the system. How to change that? I will show you in the tomorrow's class. Please remind me, Pavani.
Can we change the company name?
Company name we can change, but we cannot change identifications.
Okay.
We cannot change identifications. Okay.
Okay. Because see, one company might be settled now, but that can be taken over by other company and merged into other company. So
that is different issue, Pavani. That is different issue. That comes in the absorption, all these things, right?
Okay.
Here we have to understand what is company code.
Okay.
What is the process of amalgamation, absorption, reconstruction? That's an entirely different issue. That doesn't have anything to do with this.
Okay. So we don't make any changes in the system for such scenarios.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Akash.
Sir, is a currency of company and the currency of the company code is the same?
No, need not be same. Need not be same. What does it mean? Suppose your group is in India, right? So
yes,
your company currency is INR. You are carrying on business in USA. For USA entity, you create one company code. For that company code, currency will be US dollar. Right? So the company currency and company code currency can be different.
That means, if want to be reporting in the INR, then the company currency is in INR, and if want to be reporting in the company code is in INR, that means INR we have to use.
Not like that.
It's a reporting point of view.
Yeah, from the report, I will explain your question to others also. For example, your group is in India, that is company currency INR. Then your company code is in USA. Now that USA company code also wants to report in Indian rupees, right?
Okay.
For that, you can maintain INR also to US company code as additional currency. That is called parallel currencies, right?
Okay.
So this parallel currency concept, and also there is one more concept, group currency concept. So this group currency concept we will discuss later on. There is a separate topic in general ledger accounting group currency. At that time,
Okay.
I will show you how to maintain additional currency for the company code and how to report for a company code in other currencies also. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I will send the accounting documents, basic accounting documents. I will send it to all of you. Today, along with the recording, I will send you the documents on basic accounting principles. Anything else from anybody? Any doubts? If no doubt is there, I will close the session. Again, we have the session on Indian Day, Monday morning, USA Day, Sunday evening, right? We have the classes from Monday to Friday only. Okay, then. Good night and good day. Happy weekend. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.